Hello everyone, Gaming Smiler here, and welcome to another review. And today, in this video we're going to be reviewing Halloween 2, the original, from 1981. Yeah, there's another Halloween 2 by Rob Zombie, but it's not that good. But yeah. So, this film came out in 1981, and it's only written by John Carpenter, and also Deborah Hill. But he was drunk when he wrote it, because he only signed on to make for the money, because Halloween 2 was originally supposed to essentially be Halloween 3, but producers were like, nah, Halloween made a lot of money because of Michael Myers, so we're going to make a sequel on Michael because of the way the first one ended. And yeah, so that's how that happened. This is directed by Rick Rosenthal, and Rick Rosenthal would go on to direct the worst Halloween film in the series, Resurrection. The one with Busta Rhymes. Yeah. So if you want to know, in a non-spoilery way of what this is about, is basically what happens after the first one. It takes place on the same night as the first one, in 1978, Halloween. And yeah. Most of the cast return. Well, those who do return, Dr. Loomis, played by Donald Pleasence again. He'd later become like the best thing about the Halloween movies. Laurie Strode's played by Jamie Lee Curtis again. And Michael Myers is different this time. He's played by a guy called Dick Warlock. And yeah, there's something about innuendos in Halloween. You had Sandy Johnson in the first one playing Judith Myers. But yeah, shouldn't make fun of people because of their names. It's a bit of a dick move. But yeah, so I'll give this probably a 7 out of. I'd give this about 7 masks out of 10. No, not masks. Sweet. 7. Go with pumpkins again out of 10, because there's a pumpkin again in the credit sequence. But yeah, spoiler time. That doesn't count as a spoiler, by the way, the credit sequence. But yeah. So, spoiler time. So it opens with the ending of the first one. But this time Loomis shoots Michael 7 times. And he falls out of a different balcony. And yeah, it's from the outside you see it, and then you see him shoot him, and then you see him fall from the outside. And then anyway, you see Michael. Then you get the title sequence, a different pumpkin. It's not Michael one. And also, what you see, it's another POV shot from Michael just wandering around, like in the first one when he was a kid. But this time he's 21 years old. And yeah, he sneaks into an old couple's house, steals a knife, goes into a young woman's house, kills the woman. And then Laurie goes to hospital, and Loomis says that he shot Michael 6 times when he actually shot him 7 times, but as I said, the inconsistency because of the way it was written. But yeah. So Michael, he just does his thing, he sneaks around and that. But Laurie goes to hospital, and basically Michael finds out a little bit later. But when Laurie goes to hospital, there's a kid with a razor in his mouth, because back then it was check your sweets for razors, and that kid didn't check his sweets for razors, even though there hasn't been an actual recorded case of having a razor in your sweet. But however, it's like over here when people would say check your sweets for eckies, but I don't think people would give out free eckies. But yeah. Then there's a bit where there's a kid that wears the same mask as Michael, because he stole it from a store, so the kid will probably have bought it from a store. This kid turns out to be Ben Tramer. If you saw the original, Ben Tramer is the kid that Annie asked out for Laurie to dance, and yeah, he he fucking dies. Loomis thinks that it's Michael, so he gets out of the car that he's in with the sheriff. He goes to shoot him, and then he realizes it isn't Michael. And then this other police car just caroons right into him and smashes him into a van, and it catches on fire, and he basically burns to death. And it's kind of foreshadowing for what happens to Michael. But that cop, he's a dickhead, because he says that he didn't see him. Well, he should have kept his eyes on the road and saw him, but especially at the speed that he was going, he's clearly straight on, head-on collision. It wasn't a turn around the corner job. He didn't see him. It's a straight on, so he should have saw him. But so he dies, and then Brackett finds out that his daughter's dead. Annie from the first one, the one who got choked in the car and then stabbed in the neck, and basically he gives up. He doesn't want to be sheriff anymore, so the next guy gets the job, and we never see him again. We don't see him till the end again. But so Laurie ends up in hospital. She gets knocked out, and there's this kid called Jimmy who doesn't do much through the film. He just kind of fancies Laurie, but she doesn't know who he is because she spends most of the film knocked out from drugs. But so Michael finds out that Laurie's in hospital, and he finds out over a radio broadcast, and this is where we get to see Dick Warlock's son, because he's dressed as a cowboy with a boombox on his shoulder. Don't know why a cowboy would have a boombox, he just does. But also really like the score in this film. It's basically the original soundtrack, but it's synthesized. So Michael makes his way to the hospital. He sneaks in completely without a problem because the security guard isn't paying attention. He's reading a magazine. I'm pretty sure it's not a nudie mag, but it could be. But basically Laurie ends up getting told by Jimmy. This is about the most important thing he does. Basically, Jimmy tells her that it was Michael Myers, because she didn't know it was Michael Myers that was after her. Didn't know it was Michael, because she doesn't know who Michael Myers is. She just knows that he's a guy from 15 years ago that did something horrible. But so she kind of goes, oh shit, and then goes back to sleep. And then turns out the security guard's name is Mr. Garrett. Anyway, Mr. Garrett goes looking around because the nurse thinks that she saw someone. Mr. Garrett goes and he gives her a walkie-talkie, but doesn't tell her to use it, so he's kind of fucked. So he goes searching and he gets hit in the head with a fucking claw hammer. With a claw end of the hammer right into his fucking head. And he's dead now. And so Laurie has a dream, memories. She has a couple memories in a dream, but basically in this dream, her mom, she's like, alright mom, can I do something? And mom's like, I'm not your mom, I'm not your real mom, this is important for later. And then she dreams up a kid staring at a wall, and it's obviously Michael. It's a boy staring at a wall. It's obviously Michael. But so basically there's this nurse and this patient, lovey-dovey, and there's a hot tub in the hospital, and basically Michael turns up the hot tub, and obviously the guy's not very comfortable, having roasting nuts. So he gets up and he goes to turn it down, and Michael strangles him with a cord. And then the nurse kind of sucks Michael's finger a bit when he comes along. It goes on for a bit too long. It's a bit uncomfortable to watch. But then Michael fucking dunks her head in the water, and she does mention dunking for apples. The main reason I'm not mentioning these things is because they're not very important. But he dunks her head, and her face scalds and melts off as he dunks her more and more. And this is also Dick Warlock's favourite kill, I mean, she is topless, but you can't see her like that because he's behind her. He's doing the dunking. So yeah. So she dies, and there's quite a lot of nurses that die. Most of this film's set in the hospital, as I said, and yeah. So basically, they Loomis goes to a school. He goes to the primary school, well, elementary school as it's called in America, and he finds a knife on a desk with a picture of a family, and there's a young girl, and there's a knife through it. And then on the board is written Sam Hain, but it's considered the Celtic word for Halloween. I don't know how to actually pronounce it, so I'm not really going to try, but it's spelled Sam Hain. SAMHAIN. So yeah. Anyway, that doesn't really come up again. But yeah. So there's basically Loomis gets told to leave. Basically, the higher ups at Smith's Grove are like, yeah, Loomis, get out of Haddonfield. They send the nurse from the first one, the one that was in the car. I don't quite remember her name, but she basically tells him, yeah, you need to come with me. And there's a marshal there, and then they get in a car, and she tells him that actually Laurie is Michael's younger sister. So yeah, her name's Laurie Myers, not Laurie Strode. Or it might not even be Laurie at first, but it's Laurie Strode. But her surname's supposed to be Myers. So basically, Michael's out to just kill his sister. And it's not very well handled, as I said, because this wasn't really an idea in the original. And it's not really. And it's just basically all you get to kind of like suss it is, I'm not your real mom. But yeah. So basically, Loomis, after hearing this information, is like, yeah, I'm not leaving. They're in the car, by the way. They're driving away from Haddonfield, and the marshal's in the car. He's driving. So Loomis basically pulls out his gun, because he has a gun, and he says, what is it you guys do? Fire a warning shot, right? And he shoots at the window, basically telling him to fire and turn round. So he turns around. He's not going to mess with Loomis, who's going fucking crazy. He goes, with each film he gets more and more nuts, like to the point where he basically uses a child as bait to catch Michael. But yeah. So anyway, back at the hospital, a nurse goes to find the doctor, and she finds him dead in his chair, and he's got a syringe in his eye. Anyway, Michael pops out, and he does the same to her. She gets it, and she dies. And yeah. So Michael sneaks into Laurie's room, and he stabs at her bed, but she's pulled the old pillows to make a body trick, and she's escaped, and she's gone to a different room, where she goes to sleep for another little bit. And Jimmy ends up finding another nurse who's dead. She's got a tube in her arm that has basically drained all of her blood out. All of her blood's on the floor, and Jimmy slips and knocks himself the fuck out. Told you he doesn't do much. But yeah. And then Laurie wakes up, and she sees Michael kill a nurse with a scalpel. Basically, she wanders around the halls, and there's this nurse who comes around. She's like, oh, hey, Laurie, you alright? And then Michael appears from behind her with a scalpel, and he stabs her in the back, just at the rib, and lifts her into the air, and her shoes come off. Yeah, it's a bit goofy, but it's entertaining to watch. And then, she's dead. I'd imagine so. You just yanks out the scalpel. But anyway, this causes a chase. Laurie, somehow on drugs, manages to run out and downstairs, and this goes through the hospital. And she ends up outside, and she hides in a car. And Michael's, still walking, because Michael's he's a slow boy. He can be quite slow sometimes. But yeah, this is a good scene though. It's enjoyable to watch. But Jimmy ends up getting in the car that she's in, and he falls asleep again, and he's in the driver's seat. And when he falls asleep, his head hits the horn. So he's basically like, "Hey, we're over here, Michael, by accident," and we never see him again. So yeah, Jimmy's done now. Jimmy's never heard from again. Told you he doesn't do much. But yeah. So Laurie, desperate, ends up getting out of the car, trying to run. She stumbles. She can't run anymore. She can barely stand. So she starts crawling, but she can't really speak. And she tries to scream, "Help me!" And she basically starts crying as she can't scream it. It's good. It's good, but the performance is good. I'm gonna be honest. Jamie Lee Curtis's performance in that bit, it's good. But yeah. So anyway, Loomis then sees Laurie's outside. He lets her in, and Michael is not far behind. Michael walks through the glass door, like through it. He smashes his head through the thing. He's not even going fast. He's like not like slower than walking pace. And Loomis shoots him, I think 4 times. It's 5 times. And Michael, drops to the floor. And the marshal gets too close. Laurie's like, "Why won't he die?" And then the marshal gets close to Michael, and Michael grabs him, and slits his throat, and he pulls a goofy face. He's like that. As he gets his fucking throat slit, like he's at fucking Disneyland going for a goofy photo. But yeah, dead. But yeah. So Loomis ends up giving. They run away, because Michael, he's coming. He's mad. He's fucking pissed. He's gonna kill them. And they end up hiding in a surgery room. And Loomis gives Laurie a gun. Well, the Martian's gun. And basically, Michael comes in. And he goes for Laurie. And, Loomis distracts him. And Laurie ends up shooting him in the eyes. So he can't see. And then there's blood tears come down his mask. And it's cool looking. Gotta be honest, it's cool. And then Loomis starts to undo gas tanks. And then Laurie starts doing it too. And it's good. Basically, Michael's just swishing blindly because, he's had his eyes shot out. And all you can hear is hissing. It's getting louder and louder. And Michael's swings get quieter and quieter. And then Loomis tells her to leave. And Loomis pulls the trigger. And the entire room blows up. But then Michael walks out burning. And you think, oh shit, he's not dead. How the fuck did that happen? But then he just drops and dies. Well, supposedly dies. Well, dies. He doesn't actually die. Because he was supposed to die. But then Halloween 4 happened. But, yeah. So does Loomis. He supposedly dies. And Laurie ends up getting wheeled out to an ambulance. And the film ends with Michael burning while Mr. Sandman plays. It did play at the beginning of the film, but, whatever. And it will be played a couple more times in the series, but hey. What you gonna do? But as I said, 7 out of 10 pumpkins. It's alright. It's not as good as the original, but it's not the worst to come. Honestly, Resurrection is bad. Busta Rhymes. That's just dumb. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like. If you didn't, do what you do. And if you're new here and you want to help me out, why not subscribe button? If you want, obviously. And I'll hopefully I forgot to tell you, you need to hit the bell to get notifications because that is a thing. And I'll hopefully see you next time, and good.